Hey, welcome to another episode of Training Boss Tuesdays, the show designed to educate and inspire you to live a healthier life with purpose and on purpose. Have a special treat today for the ladies out there with those crazy schedules who want to get their sexy back. I have Rhonda James from Fitness to Go with me today. Thank you for joining me, Rhonda.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
So, Rhonda, you have a lot of experience. Would you, for those who haven't had a chance to meet you yet, would you mind sharing a little bit about your background? I know you have a weight loss story as well as a lot of experience in personal training. So, would you share a little bit about that with us?
Sure. You know, um, my weight loss story was a lot of, what you hear in the typical um, female journey. I was became a new mom a couple of times very quickly and didn't have a lot of education in how to stay healthy and gained a lot of weight. And so after the birth of my children, I had about 80 pounds to lose and I was clueless how to get that off. And so over time, I was able to find my way and find a healthy lifestyle that led me to be able to lose that weight. I did a transformation contest way back, 100 years ago in the Ice Age, and lost the 80 pounds, and not all at once, but over time, which is the right way to do it, and stayed healthy. And I was able to maintain that weight loss for over 30 years now. And so that led me to what my passion is I just found myself that people were asking me questions and I was spending all of my time helping people. So I became a personal trainer. From there, I became now a coach, and at one time even owned my own facility and had an all women's gym where all I did was all day was help women. And so that's all just kind of over the years grown and grown and grown. And now I'm at this place in my life where I am helping women, but on this new frontier in our industry, which is I can do that remotely and I can do it anywhere in the world. And so that's kind of my journey. My journey has just grown into being able to work with these busy women who are very high achieving and being able to pour the education and the knowledge that I've learned over the years through my journey into them. Um, so, so I've done the homework, and now I can help them build a plan that works for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And one of the things that I find really interesting with, you mentioned the online technology in terms of the online training. you know, a lot of people, especially those high achieving people, they have a lot on their plate, and it's really hard for them to stick with commitments. They'll pay all this money to go to the gym, or they'll pay for a personal trainer, and then they end up canceling sessions because they have to go do something for their kids, or they have a work meeting that comes up, or all these different things that get into the way. So, talk to me a little bit about what makes the ability to train people online different. How does that help these people with these busy schedules do things differently?
Yeah, that's a great point. I hear this all the time. So I will tell you this. Okay, so most of the clients that I see here at my company, they have had personal trainers in the past. And some of them have had really good personal trainers. Some of them have had some that so great. So they've had good experiences and bad experiences. But the number one thing is that they have wasted money because they can't get to the gym where the trainer is, and especially if they've invested in somebody who is highly sought after, then they have this slot open for you, and if you miss that time, I don't know if I can get you in any other time. Well, what if I'm getting ready to jump on a plane and I'm not going to be back for a week, And then by then it's time for my next time slot. Well, what if that time slot, I've been scheduled for a meeting that's out of my control? And so they come to me and they've spent money, and then they've been told or possibly had this put upon them that they lack commitment. And here they are, these people who are committed to career, committed to children, committed to parents, sometimes aging parents, committed to their spouses, committed to charity causes. These are people who take their commitments very, very seriously. And then because they can't get to one appointment at a certain time, in a certain location, in a certain state, in a certain town, on a certain street, at a certain time, once a week or twice a week, because they are flying all over the world or have erratic schedules or have a huge commitment otherwise, they're told they have no commitment. And so that is the number one issue that I saw. And I saw the ability for remote training to be able to fix that for them, because they did need a plan of action, and they did need a format that worked for them, and they did want the accountability and someone to customize a plan for them that actually worked, that they could keep, that, you know, what we track is what we get results with. And that's no matter what in life. That's your finances, anything that is worthwhile. If we track it, we see results. And successful people know that. And so they knew, okay, what I give attention to, I'll get results. And I want my health to be good. I want my body to feel good. I want to have the focus, the energy, the vitality to do all these things that I love and want to do. And so they wanted to do that. And the remote training allows that. They've got their program, they've got the accountability, they've got the ability to track their exercise, what's next, their nutrition, and they have all of their options right there in the palm of their hand. And then they have a coach that they can communicate with, that it's not just in a time slot. They can communicate through a process that works with their life. And that's been huge. Was that kind of what you were looking for, kind of how it works?
Yeah. So I think one thing that, you know, you brought up there, and you touched on it a little bit, but I maybe like to dive a little deeper, because I find, you know, as an online trainer myself, a lot of people, when I talk to them, they have this preconceived notion about online training is just in-person training online, right? It's like, oh, you're going to be like on Skype with me and we're going to work out together. But, you know, and some people do train online that way, but, you know, that's not necessarily a great option for the people that you're talking about, because then that still puts them in, they have to be, you know, in somewhere where they have a good internet connection, and they got to be available at a specific time and all that. So what exactly do you do in your program that is a little bit different, that allows them to be able to work this into their schedules better?
Okay, that's a good question. I probably wasn't really clear about that. So for example, in my specific program, we use an app to deliver everything, because they need to be able to do their program at a time that works for them. So so I also find out for them very early on, what are your options? Do you use a gym, or do you typically do workouts at home, or do you typically do them in a hotel, or are you doing them outdoors? And then the program is designed with those options. So for example, I have a new client that just started 2 weeks ago, and so she likes to go to the gym, but realistically she will only get there right now, because of the time of year it is, once a week. So we've designed a gym workout, and then an at-home workout, and a travel workout. And those will be scheduled in according to where she is. And then it's in her app, and she pulls up her calendar by day, and it's already scheduled in there. And her and I talk on the phone, or do a Zoom call or FaceTime or a video session of some type weekly for a check-in. And I know what's coming up this week for you, so we plan her week. So it's very customized. And then her workouts are scheduled on the days that she will be doing them accordingly. So is it an outdoor workout? Is it an at-home workout? Is it a gym workout? And it's put in there. The same thing for her nutrition. So we have figured out what her calorie content should be, what her macronutrients would be, also based on her health issues, possibly what she needs to be concerned about, does she need to be eating throughout the day, that sort of thing. And so we have her nutrition plan inside the app there. She's tracking, and we're planning ahead. If she knows that she's going to be traveling and there's going to be a long period of time that she doesn't have access to food that she can prepare herself, maybe we need to use some meal prep services, things like that, especially this time of year for that particular client. So everyone is different, but all of that information is recorded in the app, and I deliver it through the app. Then all the communication with the messaging, same thing. We also do audio and video training that's delivered through the app so that they have habits that they can practice, and we talk about those things daily inside the app. They just get a little reminder, and every morning they open up their phone and it says, here's what you're going to do today. And it's right there. Boom, 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 boom. They open it up. They touch it. They can see everything that they're supposed to do. And it takes the overwhelm off, because all they have to think about is, oh, if I just do this, this, and this today, then I did everything I'm supposed to do to get me to my end goal that we already talked about. And I think it takes the weight of trying to change, make a huge change off of them, and lets them just think about, I just need to do these small steps today.
I love the way you describe that, though, because one of the things that I see a lot of times with people is they want to lose weight, and they will, oh, well, let me go Google what's the best diet or whatever. And then they end up, trying to follow some diet, or oh, my friend lost 15 pounds on this or whatever, so I'm going to do that. And what you really touched on there is that it's not just about the foods that we eat. There are a lot of factors that go into us being successful with transforming our bodies. And that's why you really need a customized plan to get you there. Some people, they might be able to just pick a random diet and get results. I mean, it's always going to happen to at least a small percentage of people. But for the most part, we all have enough differences that there's something outside of just the food that we're eating and the exercises that we're doing that really impact us. And I know one of the areas that you actually focus on as well is hormones.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that, specifically with these high achieving women? What are some of the hormonal issues that they may have happening?
Yeah, so I'll share a little bit about my personal story with that, which kind of gave you this realization that there was something to that. Okay, so I was starting, you start hearing these things among your friends and among your clients, and you're like, gosh, something's going on. And then it starts happening to you, and you start really becoming aware. So, women's healthy aging is a hot topic right now, especially in this country. And we've come to realize that our generation, so let's call us women of substance and style. How about that? Okay. We're coming up on this stage in our life when we're kind of that first generation that exercise purposely, regularly, and did all of these, aerobics classes and CrossFit and did weightlifting and did all of these structured workout programs. We're kind of that first generation that's been doing that for most of our adult lives. And we've stayed active much more of our adult lives than any other female generation before us. And we are also more career focused we have been throughout our lives than any other generation. And so we're not as ready to slow down. And when we are ready to slow down, it's in a whole new way. So add in that as we age, this our normal reproductive process is just happening, and that's just normal. It's just part of life, and no one no one talks to us or prepares us that our body will start to make changes that are perfectly normal for us, and so we start to experience body changes, and a couple of things are happening. A, we're going through this normal end to our reproductive years, and B, we're not slowing down, and we are also putting more demands on our body from a physical perspective through our exercise, and we're much more aware of what we eat and how we feel and our energy levels and all these things, and we're better educated probably than we've ever been. And we don't understand what's going on, but we're feeling these changes, and that these things that we've done, that we've always done to feel good, look good, and keep our vitality and our focus and be on the top of our game, are just suddenly not working. And we literally really have not changed what we were doing. But something is changing, and our bodies are not agreeing with that anymore. So what I found was that, you're starting on perimenopause, starts as early as 35, all the way through menopause and post-menopause. You're having all these hormonal changes and they're not being addressed. And part of that is our medical system has not had the issues of women saying, wait a minute, I want to know what's going on with my body so that I just know what to do. And instead, so look at it like this. You opened a can of worms here, didn't you? Look at it like this. When we go through puberty, we're given a little book in a little class, and they told us, here's what's going to happen to you. And you are growing up. And all this is just great, great, great. And, you are going to grow into adulthood. And as females, they tell us you're going to be able to have babies if you want to have babies. And you're going to grow curves, and you're going to feel pretty. And they tell you all these things. And when we start to go into our non-productive years, nobody talks about it. And then we almost feel like we're supposed to stop it. There's some messaging out there from the media like we're supposed to stop it. And we're not supposed to stop it. We're supposed to roll with it. We don't stop a young girl's menstruation. We just teach her how to take care of herself better. And so we need to do that on the other end of the spectrum as well. So I guess I really didn't get into what are the hormone issues, but when you have the brain fog, and you have the muscle fatigue, and you have the joint pain, and you have the bloating, and you have your midsection is suddenly getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and you're going to doctor after doctor saying, I don't feel good. And sometimes they don't even think, oh, here, let's just test your hormones and see what's going on. Maybe they should set some baselines in the beginning. So what I've decided is I ask those questions. I just say, tell me what's going on with you. How do you feel? And women are very apprehensive to, they'll talk about it, but they're apprehensive to say, they feel like the doctor's not listening, that kind of thing. And so what my approach is that I've really taken the approach that, okay, first of all, let's see. If you're not sleeping, let's get you sleeping, because we can't get healthy, we can't get focused, we can't burn fat, we can't do all those things if we're not sleeping. So let's look at your sleep health. Let's get that going. Okay, let's look at your nutrition. Let's, if what you were doing in the past worked well for you then and it's not working now, then let's experiment a little and see what we do need to change for you. Same thing with your exercise. If you've been doing these hardcore workouts and you are always hurting and in pain, then yes, maybe those worked in the past, but maybe now we need to change that for you. So all of that goes into let your hormones rebalance themselves and let your body recover. So does that, I know I talked for a long time.
No, you're good. And one thing you said at the end there that caught my attention, I've worked with a couple of women. I primarily work with men. So I don't have nearly the experience that you do working with ladies. So please correct me if I'm wrong on this. But the impression that I've gotten is, as guys, we generally think that it's a willpower issue. When we're having issues, when we're aging, we don't think of it as I'm getting older. We think of it as I'm just not putting enough force into it, right? Whereas women, it seems, are more prone to think I'm broken.
Yes.
And when you feel like you're broken, then it becomes difficult to do anything. So
Yeah.
can you kind of speak to that a little bit about that feeling that women have? And I know you kind of touched on a little bit that these are natural changes and that you should embrace them instead of trying to push them away. But can you dive into that a little bit about what embracing that actually looks like?
Yeah. I'm glad you picked up on that. And I'm going to speak from my heart, from real experience on this one. So being in this industry, I took a lot of pride in the fact that I had chosen to live a healthy lifestyle. And so when I began to see my body start to ache and hurt, and I felt foggy, and things were just changing that, and I wasn't letting off the gas, okay? I felt like I was broke, and I felt like my body was betraying me. And that was difficult to deal with. And then I felt broken. I felt like something was wrong with me that I could not fix, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. And I went to doctor after doctor saying, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I hurt. I'm eating healthy. I'm exercising. But some days I hurt so bad I can't get out of bed. I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted that I can't even get everything done that I used to get done. And I did feel broken. And it took years before a doctor just said, oh, well, let's just check your hormone balance and see what's going on with you. They prescribed pain medication, which, I was like, I don't want it. Something's odd here. This doesn't sound right. There was not a root cause, I was told, oh, you just need antidepressants. I was told, just a myriad of things, but never a root cause. And it just turned out it was a natural hormone, like a natural process. And so I addressed that with women that we don't need to feel bad about a natural biological process. We are not broken. And society selling us on the fact that we are supposed to stay a certain perfect way is just garbage. It's just garbage. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. And the way we are is the way we are. That's the way we were made to be. And so what we are going through now is simply part of all of how life works. And there's nothing wrong with us. We simply need to learn how we're supposed to take care of ourselves at, at this stage of our life. Just like it's very important when we go through puberty to know how to take care of ourselves. Just like when you're pregnant, it is extremely important to know how to take care of yourself. And you read books and you go to the doctor and they give you prenatal vitamins and they make sure that you're taken care of. And then after you have a baby, it's extremely important to know how to take care of yourself. And it's the same thing in our stage of life. It's important to know how to take care of yourself. You're not broken. You are just in a new stage. So I do address that with women, and you would be amazed at how relieved they are to have someone realize. So yeah, it comes from heartfelt experience that I felt. I knew if I felt that way, other women felt that way too.
It's as I'm sitting there listening to you, that the thing that really stuck to me was, you talked about, oh, you hit puberty, there's, books and there's education. And then, when you're pregnant, there's books and there's education and there's all this education and all this support your whole life. And then you get to a certain age, and then not only do you now feel broken, but you feel abandoned because there's nobody there to help. And I can only imagine how frustrating that must feel to have that support your whole life, and you get to a certain point, and everybody's like, okay, well, good luck. You're on your own now. And
Yeah.
it's really at a time where you probably need it the most.
And then when you go to the doctor, it's a joke among my friends that they're like, well, welcome to the big whatever number. you know,
We,
you
we,
know,
won't, we won't ask you to give the number.
I'm going to do that out of respect. No, the big joke is welcome to the big 5-0. Like, I mean, I just can't believe, like, there's no pamphlet they give you. There's no, here's all these wonderful things that you can do for self-care. It's just like they send you home, and at least half a dozen of my friends have called me crying in the car saying, do you know what they said to me? Like, there's no hope. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And so, I know I should be more technical, and I know I should be, all I can say is, there are hormonal things going on in your body, and just things like your cortisol levels. You need them to be, higher when they need to be higher, lower when they need to be lower, so you can relax at night and go to sleep. And you need your estrogen and your progesterone to be evenly spaced like they're supposed to be. And if your progesterone, if they're all out of whack, you're going to feel like not good, I promise you. But those things, that's just a matter of educating yourself, and we just need that education. And I try to provide that for my clients. I really do, so they understand what's going on with them. But really, what they want, they just want an answer to how do I feel better. And I do try to educate them on things like estrogen dominance. That will make us hold on to fat much longer. And that I couldn't wrap my head around estrogen dominance when you're losing estrogen forever. And finally, I understood it. We're losing estrogen, but we're also losing progesterone. Okay. So if you still don't have them in the right proportions, you still have too much estrogen if you don't have enough progesterone. So you're still estrogen dominant, which will mean you're going to pack on that weight around the middle probably. So just things like that, all these little things, but they're not little when they're making you feel like crap. And so those are the kinds of things that we talk about in my program.
Okay. So let me, because I know you have another meeting that you have to get to today. So let me just summarize and tell me if this is a good summary for what you do. Because I know a lot of the ladies out there, they don't want to slow down, like you said. They want to keep going. And when you're saying to embrace these changes, you're not suggesting that they have to slow down or that they have to do less, but that they need to find more effective ways to do it. Is that a
Yeah.
good summary?
I'm saying that if you want to slow down, it is okay. And don't let anyone tell you that you have to go a million miles an hour just because society says that you have to. There's some beauty to savoring all the beautiful things in your life, but there's also beauty to being able to have the energy and the focus and the vitality to enjoy all of the things that you still want to do and enjoy. And you can have the energy and the focus and the vitality to do all of those things. You just need to learn the new self-care. And what exercise do you need to be doing? It does need to probably be different than you've done in the past. And what approach do you need to take to your nutrition? Maybe we need to look at that and see, does it need to be a little different in the past, or does it just need to be cleaned up a little bit, you know? But I guess what I'm saying is, just like you've learned to be so, we reach a point in our life where we are, we realize who we are, and we've worked hard to be who we are. So that same thing needs to apply to your health, and take it back and say, I don't have to be a victim here just because someone said, oh, well, that's just what happens when you hit a certain age. All you have to do is learn new self-care and learn, and kind of sometimes you have to erase the chalkboard and don't say, well, I always did it this way, but just erase the chalkboard and say, okay, well, how do I need to do it now? And learn something new. That's all.
I love that message, and I love the obvious passion that you have for this subject and for helping other women to achieve these things. So I really appreciate you coming on. I do want to do a quick lightning segment with you here. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and you're just going to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. And then after we do that, I'm going to have you give your contact information to everyone in case they want to get into contact with you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I did not prepare you for the lightning round on purpose.
Okay.
All right. So tell us what part of the country you are in, and if someone were to visit your city, what is the go-to restaurant that you're going to recommend?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I am in Cortez, Florida, right by Anna Maria Island. I can walk to the white sands of the Gulf of Mexico from my front door. And what would be the go-to restaurant? If I were taking you somewhere and you were visiting me, I'd probably take you to the beach house because it sits right on the beach and the food is phenomenal. And so that's probably to the beach house.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of people, they want to eat healthy, but they still want to have their good foods, right? They still want their cheat meals. So if you would have to have something that kind of feels like a cheat meal, but you've made it more healthy, what's your go-to?
Oh, it's kind of like a cheat meal, but I made it more healthy?
Yeah.
Ooh, you're really putting me on the spot. Gosh.
Do you not have anything?
I mean, like, I just, you know,
If you don't have a healthy version, you can just tell us your favorite cheat meal.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't have a, like, for me, I just, I love ice cream. So one thing I do is I do allow myself to have ice cream treats, but for the most part, I make my protein shakes into the thickest protein, like where I have to scoop it out of a bowl actually. And then I put walnuts and golden raisins on top, like, and I make it like where it's chunky. So it would be like a rock, you know, like a ice cream that has nuts in it. And that's a treat for me. So I know that sounds like that's not relatable at all. And I'm so sorry, but I was just trying to think of a cheat meal because like, I mean, you know, I'm a burger and fries kind of girl. So I would just, you know, I would have my burger, and I would probably just leave the bun off because that doesn't bother me to leave the bun off. You know, now if that bothered me, I'd eat it. You know, I wouldn't be all about like, oh, can't have bread kind of thing, but I'd leave the bun off. And for fries, if I made it at home, then I would bake sweet potato fries. And that's something I do a lot. So I would have burger without the bun, and I would still have, you know, I'd have my onions and my mushrooms and probably some pepper jack cheese on there, and then I'd have my sweet potato fries. So that would be my thing. I would probably not get it at a restaurant where I would just make it at home and make it like that. So I don't know, is that a cheat meal?
I mean, you know, cheat meals are defined by us, so yes.
So what's yours? That's what I want to know because mine stinks.
I am a taco person. I love tacos, and I've actually learned to take the masa, corn masala. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically like ground up corn.
Mm-hmm.
And I make my own tortillas. And I use like extra lean hamburger meat, and I do like homemade salsa, and I've just got like the whole thing. And it's all like really fresh ingredients, but it is definitely 100% tacos.
But it sounds amazing. See, to me, that sounds like it would taste better than getting tacos out because I would prefer the fresh ingredients. Just like with the burgers, I prefer to make them at home because I make them with my grass-fed beef, and see, I put like chili seasoning inside my burgers because I like my burgers to have some flavor. So so to me, I guess it sounds like I'd be making it healthier, but to me, it's preferred because that's the way I like. I like the better ingredients to me, make it more savory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand completely. All right, so final question. And this one should be an easy one for you since you work with people with really hectic schedules. You only have 10 minutes available to get some kind of activity in for the day, including your warm up. What is going to be your go-to workout for that day?
I'm going to do squats. Do I have equipment? If I don't have equipment, I'm probably going to wear my backpack because that's always with me. And I'm going to put that on. I'm going to do, first I'm going to do air squats with no weight. That's going to be some of my warm up. And then I'm going to do squats with it on my back. And then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to hold it in the front. I'm going to do squats with it in the front. And then same thing. I'm going to put it on my back. I'm going to do lunges, hold it in the front, do lunges. I'm going to do push-ups. And then I'm going to put it on my back and I'm going to do push-ups again. And then I'm probably going to do planks. And then I'm going to do planks with my book bag on. And then I'm going to do planks where I'm moving my legs in and out. So stepping in, stepping out, and then up, down planks, up, down planks. And then I'm probably going to mix that in with mountain climbers. So I'm getting cardio in there too. So I don't do anything that is feet off the floor because I had a back injury. So all of my cardio would be anything with feet still on the floor. So basically I'd be doing crossbody mountain climbers. So not a lot of impact, things like that. I do like to do the man makers and Turkish get-ups. Okay, I'm not gonna say I like to do them, but I do them because they drive my heart rate up and I don't want to do jump squats and things like that. So that would be my workout, would be a go-to workout that I would do. And I do that, I actually have to do that a lot. Things like that because I travel. I know I talk about that a lot on my social media, but I travel for the last couple of years. For at least the last 20 months, I was traveling twice a week by plane. So that would be a regular workout for me.
All right, awesome. So real quick, for anybody out there who wants to get in touch with you, maybe they want to ask some follow-up questions, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you? Give us your website and your contact info.
Okay. The best way to reach me is just Rhonda at rjfitnesstogo.com. That is my email. You can find me on Facebook at Fitness to Go, or my personal Facebook page at Rhonda James. And my website is rjfitnesstogo.com. And I'm also on Instagram at rjfitnesstogo. And then on LinkedIn at Rhonda James.
All right. And I will post all of those links in the description for the video so that if people want to visit, they can easily find it for them. And I just want to thank you again for coming on and providing so much value for us today. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you a lot and have a great day.
Thank you. It was fun. Bye-bye.
Bye.